In this video, you are going to learn how to make passive income while you sleep. I know this sounds like a fantasy, but it's actually very simple. Dividend investing is one of the easiest ways to make passive income, so today I'm going to tell you what dividend investing is, how you can do it, and how much you can expect to make from it. Let's start off with what is dividend investing. Dividend investing is a type of stock market investing where you buy certain companies that pay out dividends in return for holding the shares. Dividends are a percentage of the company's profits that are paid out to its shareholders. The amount of dividends that you get from a stock can be calculated by looking at its overall dividend yield and then comparing that to the stock price. So for example, if a stock had a dividend yield of 3% and then the stock was worth $100, 3% of $100 would be $3. This is pretty much completely passive income. I mean, once you buy the dividends, it takes literally no work to receive the passive income from the dividends. This is basically a guaranteed paycheck every month just from holding some stocks, unless the companies decide to change their dividend yield, but that usually doesn't happen. Unlike normal stocks where you're relying on it to appreciate over time, dividend stocks, it doesn't matter if they go up, stay the same, or go down, you will always get paid. However, dividend stocks tend to not appreciate as fast as high growth companies like Tesla or Amazon because they're paying out a large portion of their profits in the form of dividends and giving that back to you. For example, Coca-Cola has a 3.04 dividend yield and it has only appreciated 20% in the last 5 years. This is slow appreciation for a stock, but Coca-Cola makes up for that slow appreciation in paying out dividends. However, this is not always the case. Some dividend stocks can still appreciate like crazy while still paying out dividends. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple has a dividend yield of 0.66%, but it has managed to appreciate 450% over the last 5 years. That's ridiculous. And it managed to do that while still paying out a dividend, even though the dividend is not very high. Dividend stocks pay you out on a set schedule, so that could be monthly, annually, or quarterly. The majority of dividend stocks usually pay out quarterly. The dividend yield is the total amount that stock will pay you per year. So for example, with the 3.04 dividend yield on Coca-Cola, over the entire course of the year, you'll be getting 3.04% in dividends, and you're not getting 3.04% 4 times or per quarter. Okay, so I'm ready to start making passive income. How do I invest in these stocks? The first step in this process is researching these stocks/companies. The first thing that I do when I research them is look at the dividend yield. If it is less than 3%, I usually do not even bother with it, unless it has a crazy track record like Apple. The next step is to look at their dividend track record. This will tell you if they've cut their dividends in the past or had anything gone wrong with the company in the past. You want to find consistency in dividends because you do not want your dividends being cut in the future. Next, look at how many times these dividends will be paid out per year. Again, most of the time this is quarterly, but it's always good to double check. The next thing that I do is check the stock's reputation. If this is a reputable company, then it will most likely grow over the future and it has good morals, but if it has had like some controversy or just some bad stuff happen in the past, that could carry on to the future and you definitely do not want that. The last thing that I do before buying a dividend stock is look at its debt. If it has a bunch of debt, that's not a good sign. Debt can hide some really nasty truths about a company because they could be leveraging all of their success. So just beware and do your research. If you do not want to do the research or don't want to spend the time looking through all these dividend stocks, then do not worry. Different companies such as Vanguard or Fidelity have put together index funds that represent the dividend market as a whole. For example, Vanguard's index fund has a dividend yield of 2.88%. That's a little bit under my 3%, but you don't have to do any work, so it's still pretty good. This is not bad at all. These index funds are controlled by some of the top financial analysts in the world, so you can be pretty confident when putting your money into them. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so do your own research and come to your own conclusions. And just remember, I'm a 19-year-old kid, so do your own research. Personally, I feel very safe when investing in any Vanguard index fund. After you've made the decision on whether or not you're going to buy a stock, go ahead and purchase it on your brokerage account. If you do not have a brokerage account, then this is a good time to open up one. In my opinion, Robinhood is the best beginner investing app. That's what I learned on, and their interface is super user-friendly. So if you're interested in that, then you can go ahead and use the link in my description and we will both get a free stock. After you have bought your dividend stocks on your brokerage, you have 2 options. Do you want to reinvest those dividends back into the stock, or do you want to take those dividends out as income? When you reinvest your dividends, you take advantage of compound interest because the dividends that your dividend stocks earn, those dividends will make more dividends, and those dividends that your dividends earned you will keep making more dividends, and so your account will just go up exponentially. However, your other option is taking these dividends out as a form of income. This is great because it allows you to like pay your expenses with money that you've just earned from the stock market. This isn't like your actual income from your job. This is just income that your money that you saved has generated you. You will be taxed on this income, but it is very nice to have another income stream coming in. However, the best way to maximize your dividends is to reinvest them because you'll take advantage of compound interest. Stocks are not the only investment that pays out dividends. If you own a REIT, which stands for Real Estate Investment Trusts, then you will get paid a pretty high dividend. When you own a real estate investment trust, you own a piece of an actual real estate property, so a portion of the income that that property generates, such as rent, gets paid back to you in the form of dividends. I still prefer stocks, but if you're not a fan of stocks, then REITs can be a great option for you. Some of my favorite dividend stocks at the moment include AT&T, Coca-Cola, IBM, and Apple. Do your own research, but these are my favorites at the moment. My favorite index funds are Vanguard's VYM and Fidelity's FDGFX. Both of these are great index funds and they will provide you consistent growth where you get paid out consistent dividends. Before you go, let's take a look at your earning potential from dividends. For example, Coca-Cola pays a 3.04% dividend yield, so I'm going to use that as an example. If you put $100 into Coca-Cola, then you'd be getting paid $3.04 per year. If you put $10,000 into Coca-Cola, then you'd be getting paid $304 per year. If you had $100,000 in Coca-Cola, then you'd be getting paid $3,040 per year. And if you had $1 million in Coca-Cola, then you'd be getting paid $30,400 a year. And that is completely passive. I mean, that's insane. I mean, obviously it's hard to get to $1 million, but over time, you can build up that portfolio slowly and slowly, and you can really build it up and make some passive income. That is it for the basics of dividend stocks. I really hope this video brought you some value and taught you something new about dividends. If you want to learn more about the stock market, investing, or making passive income, then I recommend you follow along with the channel by subscribing. If you have any questions about anything in this video, make sure to comment it down below and I will get back to you. Thank you guys, and peace.